I'd like to take about 10 minutes of your time to introduce the Orkney Sheep Foundation. My name is Robert Brewis, and I'm one of the charity's 5 trustees. The OSF is a new charity. It started at the beginning of the year and was registered as an SCIO, a Scottish Charitable Incorporated Organisation, in February. Our website went live in July, and we held our official launch earlier this week in Kirkwall in the Orkneys. But what is it that we're all about? This is our mission statement. It is our aim to secure the future of the native seaweed-eating sheep on the foreshore of North Ronaldsay. It's a big word, this, secure, and I think we've set ourselves a big task to achieve it. This phrase, the seaweed-eating sheep, it has a remarkably high level of public recognition, and we need to capitalise on that and develop it. The foreshore of North Ronaldsay. I don't want to minimise the work done by members of the North Ronaldsay Sheep Fellowship, who keep the sheep on the UK mainland and safeguard the genetic inheritance, but the foreshore of North Ronaldsay is where the sheep originate, and the foreshore of North Ronaldsay is where we must secure their future as well. So, where do the sheep come from? The pivotal date in the history of the sheep on the shore is 1832. This is the date when the sheepdyke around the perimeter of the island was completed to keep the sheep on the foreshore and prevent them from roaming and damaging the prime farmland. The dyke has enabled the preservation of the sheep. It's formed a sort of time capsule that's brought the sheep down to us in the 21st century. In 1832, these sheep were common throughout the Orkneys. In the present day, they exist only on the island of North Ronaldsay. But where did the sheep come from before 1832? Well, we have evidence that very similar sheep to these had been on the islands for 5,000 years, back to Neolithic times. Now, we cannot say that these sheep are the sheep of the Stone Age settlers, but we do have the evidence of bones to say that their conformation is very similar, and we do have evidence of teeth to say the seaweed diet is similar. So, it seems not unreasonable to believe that if we could see the Stone Age sheep, they would look very much like the North Ronaldsay sheep of today. And through beyond today, this is where we have deep concerns that, even in the next 10 years, the future of the sheep may become unviable. The viability of the sheep depends to a large extent on the state of the sheepdyke. One of the significant successes of the OSF in its first summer season has been to commission an update of the 6-year-old engineering survey of the dyke to gain an insight into how its condition has deteriorated since 2009. Another gratifying feature of our first few months has been the realisation of how many other organisations have an interest in the challenge to the island, and to see them coming forward since we have appeared on the scene. The map that you see here was produced by the Historic Environment team of the Orkney Island Council, who did their survey a little after our own surveyor. The map shows the whole line of the dyke around the island, marked in green where its condition is satisfactory, and in orange or red where it is not satisfactory. I was on the island with one of my fellow trustees last weekend, and this is a picture I took down towards the southeast of the island. In the background, between the yellow sand and the green grass, fragments of the dry stone wall, the sheepdyke, can be seen on its original line. Coming into the foreground can be seen the fence the sheep owners have erected to keep the sheep on the foreshore and off the farmland. This fence is in poor condition. It has become porous and the sheep are moving freely through it. So, behind it, you can see a band of closely grazed, lawn-like grass, and then the second fence erected by the sheep owners, and this is keeping the sheep close to where they ought to be. Another picture I took, this time up in the northwest of the island, and this shows the dyke in satisfactory condition on the left of the picture in the background, and on the right in the foreground, but in between it's missing and replaced with a bit of wire fencing. Where the dyke comes to an end on the right, you can see that the person who repaired this section finished it neatly with a buttress, because he knew he couldn't carry on because the ground has fallen away and there is nowhere for the wall to stand. It needs to be realigned, to be moved back further into the island and rebuilt on firmer ground. How can you support the future of the sheep? The first thing you can do is simply to be aware of the situation, the island and the sheep. I would like you to visit our website and find out more. We're very proud of the site and would be pleased to hear your views if you get in touch with us through it. We would like you to talk to your friends about the sheep on the shore. We're hoping to get some exposure in the national media, and when this happens, you can tell them that you heard about it first at Melton Mowbray. We are in need of funds to help with the task ahead. Why not visit North Ronaldsay and see for yourself? I can tell you, if you're a lover of fresh air, it would have been a better place to be today than in Melton Mowbray. Thank you for your time to sit through this presentation today. If you have any questions, I'll be pleased to take them now, or later. Do please get in touch with me through our website.